Hi, I'm hoping future me records a proper intro once I'm in the dorms and settled, so I will skip that for now. First, I want to apologize for my appearance. My cheeks are all red and my hair is messy. I went out today and I forgot to put on sunblock, so I'm a little bit sunburnt, I think. Yeah, sorry about that. So today is Tuesday, July 28th, and it is 2 days before I leave for the airport to move to South Korea. My flight is on July 31st at 1 a.m., so I will be there the day before at 10 p.m. So I've been putting off packing for the past couple weeks. I should have started packing last week, but I was scared because packing makes it real and I'm nervous. But I have to do it now because it's 2 days before and I don't want to be doing super last minute, as if this isn't last minute anyways. Yep, time to pack now, and I'm terrified. This isn't my first time traveling internationally by myself. I studied abroad in Japan in 2018, but I did go with a program at that time, so they helped me through a lot of the process. This time I'm going for uni by myself, so I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. One thing I'm just really concerned about is Corona, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and flying in general is very iffy right now, I guess. I'm hoping everything goes all right in terms of customs and getting through the airport and getting out. I have to get a COVID test once I arrive, which I'm a little bit scared about. Not really the test itself, but my university sent me a instructions list kind of thing about how to navigate the airport and tell them that you need to get to the testing center and then to the dorms. And I'm scared about that. My Korean at the moment is not very good. I don't know if it's enough to help me survive. And I don't know if it'll be enough to get me out of the airport and to the proper places that I need to be. Hopefully I can get by with a little bit of English. I am fortunate that English is my first language and I am fluent in it. Yeah, so I'm going to go pack and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do a little more packing tomorrow as well. And I have lunch with my grandma. She's going to be the last person I think that I'm going to be seeing that's outside of my immediate family before I leave. So I'm so excited for that. I haven't seen her in a while because of Corona, and I think she's making us tteokbokki and kimbap. So I'm excited for that. All right, yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. So today is the day after yesterday's clip. So I am continuing packing right now. Actually, I'm taking a little break. I'm writing my senior portraits that I should have written 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm writing them all now because I won't have a chance to send them out before I leave unless I finish them tonight. I'm leaving tomorrow, so. Okay, so this is a quiet terminal and I'm not completely sure what that means. So I'm not going to be too loud or try not to talk too much, but I just got through security and it's 11 p.m. It says 11:12 over there. It's really empty in here now because of Corona. No one's taking any flights, so the lady at the check-in desk said I'm going to have a whole row to myself, which is kind of cool. I'll see you on the plane. Right, yeah, so sorry about the welcome to my dorms. Actually, it's not mine. This is a single room that I'm using to quarantine. I'm in a double room normally, but I get to be in here for 14 days and I don't get to leave. We're gonna do a little mukbang, I guess, while I explain everything that went wrong while I was trying to get here. My university is providing all 3 meals for us for every day that we're in quarantine. So I got Subway. I don't know what's in it. Yay. It's kind of also like everything inside of my thing. My lunch bag that they gave me is wet because I put this in there and it started leaking. Not leaking, but like, you know how ice water like makes things wet. It's like outside, yeah. So now I have a slightly soggy sandwich. Not bad. They brought me Coca-Cola, a very broken cookie, and a bunch of candy. I saw the Oreos from outside and I was like, oh. So my flight was faster than they expected. I got in at around 4:30 instead of 5 like it was supposed to, and that was okay. Like, that was fine. I don't see why that would be a problem. Going through immigration was like okay, except there's more stuff that they had to do because of Corona, and I was stuck at this one specific part of immigration for like 15 minutes maybe, because they had to confirm that the address that I wrote down was the one that I'm staying at. And they were like, do you have any documents that can prove it? And I was like, no, I don't have any documents because I didn't get any documents that can prove it. So they had to like, I don't even know what they did. He just left me there and he was like, okay, I'll be right back. But, I mean, it worked out fine. I think he ended up calling the dean of the school and was just like, hey, is she staying there? And then he was like, yeah. And then, yeah, so that just took a long time. Another problem is that I look Asian, so everyone automatically assumes that I speak Korean. And I do speak a little bit of Korean. Like, I can understand a lot more than I can speak, but I'm like conversational kind of, but only in like normal conversations. When there's like all these like official words that they're talking about and they're like saying stuff about like, oh, blah, 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 blah. No, I have no idea what they're saying. Everyone assumes that I speak Korean, and I do not speak enough Korean to say that I speak Korean. So then the rest of immigration actually went by pretty fast. Like, it was fine. In general, there was like not that many people there because of Corona. No one's like flying anywhere. Getting to the dorms, into my Corona test. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the thing. My university wanted us to take a taxi to the COVID testing site, have the taxi wait for us to finish, and then take that same taxi to the dorms, which I guess makes sense because you just leave your suitcases and stuff in there. It's all fab, blah, 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 blah. That didn't happen for me. When I got here, I was talking to the dude, and he was like, oh, we didn't have that problem for any of our other students that came. I was like, oh wow, it's just me. So I got to the place that they told me to go ask for a taxi, but my flight came in super early, and it was earlier than the COVID testing site opened. The site opens at around 9, I believe, and then I got through immigration at around 6, so I had 3 hours before I had to go. So I went to the taxi thing. I was like, I need to get a taxi to this place, Yeonsugu Bogunso, I think. That's what it's called. Yeonsugu Bogunso, I think. And they were like, okay, we can give you a taxi. So then I went with this one guy and he was like, oh wait, well that's not open yet. So we were just like, okay, what? And then he was like, I don't know. And then it was like the taxi driver that I was with, and because he started walking me somewhere. And then he was like, wait, stop. And then he started to go talking to the cops, like the police. And they were like, oh, you should just take the bus because it's blah, 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 blah. I don't really remember what their thing was. So I was like, oh no, but I was translating. I was like, my university wants me to take a taxi, and I explained why they wanted me to take a taxi, and they were like, no, you should just take a bus. And I was like, okay, I guess, because I didn't know what to do. So I went down with the bus. It was like, it's like you go down an escalator thingy in Incheon airport that goes down to the buses. And so I just went down with them because they were like, okay, come with me. I was like, okay, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so confused. So then I went down to the bus stop, and then they were just like, okay, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to this place. And they were like, okay, this bus takes you there. I was like, okay, I guess. And I bought a ticket. It was only 7,000 won, which is like 650 USD or something, which was really cheap. From what I've heard, the taxi, if I were to take the taxi, it would have been like $60 or something. I'm not completely sure, but it was really cheap. I texted like our contacts that we're supposed to ask about questions, and I was like, they're having me take a bus, is that okay? But then he texted me back and he was like, we want all of our students to try to take the taxi, which is the original plan. So I was like, okay. So I went and told the security guard, and he was like, okay, you can get a refund for your ticket. And I was like, okay, I'll go get a refund for my ticket. But then the lady at the bus ticket stop was like, you can take a taxi, but you should take the bus. And she gave me all these reasons why I should take the bus. And I was like, oh my God. So I texted the dean again, and he was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess if you have to take the bus, you can take the bus. So I was like, okay. And then I had to go back there and be like, oh, I'm taking the bus. And I had to rebuy the ticket that I just refunded. Oh, it was so embarrassing. Other than that, there was no problems. Oh, until I got to the dorms. Just kidding. There was more problems. I got to the dorms, and I'm confused. Because there's this picture of a tent they sent to us and was like, this is where you're supposed to go. And there's gonna be someone there. And there was no one there. I found the tent, but there was no people in it. So I had to text and be like, hey, I'm here. Then people came down and got me, and they just brought my stuff into the elevator. And I was like, okay, let's go to the elevator. And this was just me being dumb. So our numbers were like B1, our room numbers was B1, blah, blah, blah. And I was just dumb and I couldn't figure out what floor I was meant to be on, because I thought I was supposed to be on B1 because it said B1, but B1 was the main floor. So every time I clicked B1, the door would just open back up and I wouldn't go anywhere, and it was just really embarrassing because I was really scared someone would like come and see me opening and closing the doors, because I didn't know what I was doing until I finally realized, oh, I'm supposed to be on this floor because of my room number. Yeah, I was just dumb. So they give me this thing. It's just like a paper, and it has the password to the room. I thought I was just doing something like crazy, but I couldn't get the room door open. And I was like, why can't I open the door? So I texted the dean again. I was like, is there something else I'm supposed to be pressing that's like opens the door? And he goes, press this one button. And I was like, okay, I'll press it. But every time I pressed it, it started like screaming at me. I was like, this is not opening the door. And then I think I tried too many times because the security officer came up, and because it probably just like notified him because I couldn't get in the door. And he was like, okay, you have to open and close it. And I was like, okay, I'll open and close it. And it was like, it didn't work. So he tried and it didn't work. So then he was like, okay, I'm calling one of the staff. And he tried and he opened and closed it and it didn't work. So they were like, okay, we're calling another staff. And then they were like, oh, that's not the right code. So I was sitting out there for like 15 minutes, and I was like, I changed, if you can't tell, because it's raining outside. And they already left me out there because there was nobody in there to pick me up. So I was just standing out there for like 15 minutes, trying to get that door open. Anyways, I got it open, and I'm good now, but it was just so much. It was a lot. Anyways, mukbang.